8 o'clock in the morning. Let me turn down my radio. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not a morning person, but I was an equestrian for most of my life, I guess. Once an equestrian, always an equestrian. And that's just the big word for person who's into horses and spends time with them. Anyway, enough with the vocab lesson. So it's 8 o'clock and I just drove myself to my PT place. PT is really important. Exercise is really important for everybody. Like, it does so many great things for your body. Neuroplasticity is a real thing. Your nerves can regenerate, regrow, and if one nerve connection from your brain to whatever body part it's supposed to be talking to, if that's damaged, guess what? If you move and try to use that muscle or that appendage the way you want it to, your brain goes, oh, that's not working. And it starts to build a new pathway. Like, that's a real thing. And 20 years ago, when I was diagnosed, they didn't know that. They were like, once it's gone, it's gone. And it's surprising to me how many people think that's true. So if you've had a stroke, if you've had a traumatic brain injury, something, that's made the brain, which is like the computer of your body, not be able to run one of its, functions, you can repair it. My thinking is your brain and your body isn't gonna repair it if it doesn't see a reason to. So I always think of it as like, give your body a reason to heal itself, and give your body a reason to build those new pathways. And that's true even if, say, you've been sedentary for a long time. Maybe you had the flu and it put you down for a couple weeks and you're like, or COVID, and you're like, crap, like I feel like I can't walk now. I feel like I'm out of practice. Just try, because your brain will go into like, fix it mode. It's real. You can Google it. I'm not a doctor. I'm going to say that a lot. But anyway, I am at Team Physical Therapy here in Rancho Cucamonga, California. This is where I currently live. And what I love about this place is that it doesn't look like what you would think a PT place would be. I don't know what we get these things in our minds like, oh, it's going to be a bunch of people hobbling around and like, oh, poor me. It's like looks like a gym. You would not know the difference if you walked in. You'd be like, this is a gym. And my first impression when I walked in is like, this is a gym and these people are badasses. And these people believe in the so-called impossible, when it's like, oh, you're not supposed to get better. Oh, you're not supposed to get fit. All those lies that we tell ourselves, or even some doctors tell us, that's like not even on their radar. So I love coming here because it's another thing that I spend about 2 to 3 hours here with all the different exercises. The whole time I'm there, I'm giving something to myself. I'm working. I'm fighting. It's another weapon. Life is gonna throw you all kinds of crap. Like, whether it's a loss, whether it's, a disease, something in your family, you got to fight back. You can't let it just take you. And exercise is one of those weapons that I use. Maybe you're not ready for that yet. That's okay. There were a lot of years when I wasn't ready for it. It took me 17 years. Let's be honest. It took me 17 years to get into PT. But I finally did it. Better late than never. So speaking of late, If I don't go in now, I'll be a little late. And they don't care. They're real flexible. But I'm like type A, and I just can't allow myself to be late. So it's time to mask up, because we are in California and we've got the COVID deal going on. Oh, my mask migrated by itself through the night, so we're gonna get that untangled. I just want to show you because it's, it's kind of cute. Has a horsey on it. So even my mask, like, it brings me a little bit of joy because it's me. And you gotta look for those things. You gotta look for those tiny, it could be so tiny, those little things that just bring you joy. And like, look at that. Like, now you can call me a horse face because look at that. Yeah. So here we go. The mask makes me hot. Being hot isn't good for MS. But, you roll with it. You do what you gotta do. And if you have to, you sneak off to the side and you get a breather. Anyway, here we go. No more procrastination. It's time to work out. Catch you later. Okay, now I'm in PT, aka the gym. And we've got these lockers. You can see all these lockers with their keys. So we can put our stuff in here. And that feels like a gym. One time, I thought I'd pick my lucky number 13. It wasn't so lucky for me. I totally left the key in and then freaked myself out because I thought I'd locked the key in there. And I tried picking the lock and it was a whole deal. And I was so embarrassed, but it was just one of those things I did. And you know what? Who knows why? So you get your little key. Can't forget that like I did before. Anyway, check out all those pictures. Those are all the like major athletes, gymnasts, football players, everybody. They have helped like get back into top condition. So I feel like, hey, if they can help people flip around on a balance beam, they can get me walking without my cane, right? So it's really inspirational. So I'm gonna head over there and get my moist heat to get all relaxed and get started. Stay tuned. So, first thing I do at PT is I get moist heat. I get it on my lower back and I get it on my thighs. It's really for my hips. Get it all loosened up before I get going. So, I'm just gonna see. I can't really flip you around to show you because I don't know what I'm doing. So, this is my PT place. You can only see half because I'm like behind a wall. It's my favorite place. I feel like tucked away. I've got moist heat on the thighs and hips and on my lower back. And look at it's a gym. I walked in and there was a dude just like lifting full-on weights, like deadlifting big old, those like giant barbell deals. And everybody's just, it's quiet because it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Usually it's jamming, but you can see all these different machines, and it's fantastic. And it's a really positive place with a lot of positive energy. So I encourage you, find a place in your life where there's a lot of positive energy, and it's almost impossible to be negative. It'll just knock that negativity right out of you. So find it. Also, they play really fun music. It's so fun. Alrighty. So this is Natalie. She's my physical therapist. All dressed up for Halloween because it's Halloween Eve. And she really gets in there to the problem spots. She doesn't know, but my fiance and I have nicknamed her the hot physical therapist.
You're so funny.
Because he's like, who? And I'm like, the hot physical therapist. And he's like, oh yeah.
You crack me up. Well, thank you. You just made my day.
So anyway, so Natalie's really cool. You have your PhD, don't you?
Doctorate.
doctor, whatever. It's like she's amazing. She knows all of it. She knows about neuroplasticity. Okay, what is the thing about neuroplasticity? How many like millimeters do we grow? We grow.
So your nerves will regenerate, but they regenerate at a slow pace, and it's 1 millimeter a day.
1 millimeter a day is better than no millimeters at all.
And the other huge thing about neuroplasticity is that you have an area in your brain that represents all the different body parts, and that area will shrink if you're not using it, or it'll get bigger if you are using it. So our nervous system's always changing. So for example, if you have a stroke and you're not using one side of your arm, that area will slowly shrink in your brain to the point where you won't be able to use it. So that's why therapy is huge on pushing you to use it. Even if you're not seeing a movement happen right away, it's that constant like reconnecting that circuit that helps it come back.
Right. And that seems like it's true for every person, regardless of if you have a chronic illness or whatever. Like, you've got to keep moving, because it's sort of like if you don't use it, you do lose it. Because your brain goes, oh, it's not important. Let's start shutting down.
It's not
the whole
there.
area.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Well, thanks, Natalie. We appreciate that.
Incipit vita nova. Thus begins a new life.